Hi. Hello, everybody. I'm just busy getting kitty kisses. The best thing ever. Hi, Ava. Hold on, I'm sure there's a full container in here. No. No. Oh, that's right. I emptied the full container and there's just a bunch of loose treats in the bottom of that. So we'll have to supplement for the moment and we'll give Ava hers. I'll get the kitty cam up. All right. Ava's portion out here. Here you go, baby. And then I just got to get my amazing grabber tool and grab a new treat bin. Love this thing. Best investment ever. So handy dandy. What flavor do we have this week? We have crunchy and creamy tuna. Oh my. All right. I just needed a little tiny snip in the corner. That's all. That's all, just a tiny little snippet in the corner. Hey, Ava. I'm working on it, Billy. I'm working on it. No, that's plastic. You can't have it. No. I don't want it either. There we go. Child-proof the dang things. All right, Ava, Ava, I love you. Ava, here, I'll put your last one over here. And you can get it when you do your hunt for cat treats. Are you in there, Tiny? Who's meowing? Who's meowing? Tiny Kitten Esquire. No, you're not in the hut. Where are you at, baby girl? Tiny. What, you want a couple on the chair? Alright, there you go. You want a few up here? Alright, guys. Earl, you want some in the hut? I know you like that. Alright. I don't know where Tiny's at. Tiny's hiding. But she prefers the bottom hut. So they're there when she decides that she's ready for them. They all got their flea and tick treatments, every one of them. Thank goodness for Revolution Plus. Fleas, ticks, ear mites, roundworms, hookworms, and heartworms. I ain't got to worry about none of it. And Ava is on Ventrilia, I think it is. No, Crudelio. Crudelio Quattro. That's Ava's jam. She doesn't like the taste of them, so I have to wrap them, like encase them in cheese. And then she takes them just fine. We used to call, when we'd have to give her Benadryl or pain medicine, like when she what do you, like, stubbed her toe, basically. But it was a really bad stub. And she was limping pretty hard. And I took her to the vet, because I didn't know if it was broken or what to do. And they gave her some pain medicine to get her by for a few days. Thank goodness it was not broken. But I'd have to encase the pain medicine in cheese, and so we called it pain cheese. Come on, Ava, time for pain cheese. And she loved it because it was cheese. Oh, all right. I'm here. Why? Oh. I want you guys to be able to see the animals when they sit on the chair, but I had to make it visible for both cameras. They'll come and co-host. Probably Snitch. Maybe Earl. They'll come co-host. Hello, Nana Laura, honey. Hello, Buzzy Pug. Ignore. I just have sounds going off. Hello, Purple Kiv. Hello, C-Rex. Hello, Jenny Green. Hello, Eileen and Carlin. Hello, Jerry Matthew Boyd. Hello, Charlie. Hello, Jen Callum. They sure are. Most of them. We're about 2/3 the way there. Hello, Mortimer Duke. Hello, Bettina. Hello, Patrick B. Hi, Lucy. How you doing, sweetie? Hello, Spider-Man. The L bracket look thing? That? I think you're just jonesing to be dickmatized. get to the point where everything looks like a dick, you might want to download an app for that. I don't know, man. I can't help you. I know, it's so great. It really cuts down on the internal tasings. Hello, Penny. We just talked about this. Hello, Squishy. You got 3. He got 2 messages to say he got 3. He hates typing on that thing. Yeah. Don't be a useful idiot. Being a regular idiot is just fine enough. Yeah, I tried getting I tried having one for each room, and then I never completed the order. My daughter ended up putting them into the save for later spot on the app, because we share a Walmart app. And so she had moved it to save for later, and then I forgot about it. Once it goes down there, it's just gone. Out of sight, out of mind. There's Tiny Kitten. Oh no, that's Snitch. I thought you were tiny. You tricked me. Hello, Otto. Hello, Wire Mother. So good to see you. They are, and a lot of them are transmitted by mosquitoes. So, I mean, you cut down on one problem, you cut down on more problems. I hate those blood-sucking little vampire vermins. Yep. Yeah, the Ringlestutter motto was, if you can eat it, you can cheese it. My dad used to say that all the time. All the time. If you can eat it, you can cheese it. And then he would tell people, cheese tastes great on everything. A little funny on watermelon. I miss that man. He's doing great. He was super, super cuddly today. Super, super cuddly. So was Billy, though. So I can't really, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe they're happy because I opened up all the windows today. The only one I couldn't open was my studio one, and then the one on the side of my bed, but it's all right. Parts are ordered. Did I say hi to you, Otto? I think I did, but I'm going to say hi again, sweetie. How you doing? I am so happy to see you. I never did get back into the chat this morning on the Saturday stream for 5201 Michigan. I just didn't get back there. But yeah, there were some interesting characters. I had to make a bank run and beg for more quarters so that I could continue roll hunting. I'm finding errors and cool coins. Yeah. I know, I'm such a nerd. There was a lady at the bank, a customer, and she heard me when I was talking to the cashiers and I was putting in an order for coins. And I was like, I actually brought some of the error coins with me. I was hoping the guy was working because every time I come in to get coins, the guy's asking me, did you find anything cool? And I'm like, stuttering. I'm like, well, there was a die chip and there's a couple of cud error. I can't make it sound interesting without visual representation. So I brought them with, and he wasn't working today, but I was telling the ladies about it, and they weren't nearly as interested as he was, but the customer behind was kind of laughing at me, and I said I'm a nerd. I am the biggest nerd, and she's like, oh, it's cute, it's cute. And then when I was leaving, she goes, nobody's laughing at you. And I said, oh, everybody is, but I don't mind. I am such a nerd. Let's see here. Uh-oh. Eileen had a dream about me. Let's see what this is. Last night, I dreamed that April and I were at a house. We could do that. And we were closing to go on a trip. A bottle of wine was in the fridge, and we were drinking it up before leaving. Aww. What a wholesome dream. That's so cute. Was it like beachside property? I must know. Where were we? What kind of trip were we going on? Did it involve a boat? Oh my gosh, hello Cheryl Baxter. Thank you so much for joining us. No way, man. That's not my game. I don't play that. What did Charlie say? Hold on a second. Charlie said something about... Hold on. Where? Maybe it was... Okay. Well, the reason I was questioning was because... Eileen said a hot dog. So, and it was right after Charlie's comment, so I was putting the two together. Maybe I'm so wrong. I have no idea anymore. Oh my gosh, Buzzy Pug. I hope they're okay. That's awful. It's so hard when it's people you know. I'll definitely be praying for them. Squishy's home! Yay! We get our Squishy back! If you're home, how come you're still typing on that little device that you hate so much? They're doing great. They really are. You can see Snitch on the chair right behind me. Well, okay, so you can't see him on that camera, but you can see him on that camera. He's just chilling and relaxing. You can see his tiny little patch of white, the only little tiny white patch on him. Oh, I've never tried that combination. I like feta with my olives. Feta stuffed olives. Oh my goodness. Just like jalapeno stuffed olives and pimento stuffed olives. I don't think you can stuff an olive with something I wouldn't love. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Took up the whole desk. Oh, he was such a pain. I think he wanted treats. I don't think it had anything to do with me. But he was so extra cuddly. He was so extra. He was so extra today. Stevens? I saw the partial comment from earlier. Yeah, I think he likes the attention. I think he likes when he goes viral. There's a few judges that I think they know that they're popular on the streams, and so I think they drag it out on purpose. But I'm not going to complain. I'm not going to complain about it because, I mean, we love to watch it. Aw, thank you, Patrick B. Appreciate that. Oh, I got news for you, Otto. You get the verdict on mine tonight. Problem is, we're starting a little bit into it. But we're starting at the good part, in my opinion. We don't hear the victim testimony. I'm thinking we're on day 2 of the trial. I'm thinking. Or it was on so it's Licking County, and when I get Licking County, I end up getting days of content from it. Well, not really. I don't let it run that long because I don't have that much storage space on my computer. But I think one was 23 hours and one was 14 hours. So yeah, and then it's because they don't shut it down overnight. So I'm thinking I missed a day of getting it because I don't have the space to get it every single day. But I'm thinking that I just didn't get all of the where it came in. Like it stopped at a break or the next day or something. But they go over it in closing arguments and all through the trial. So I mean, we know what her position will be. We know what she would have said. They talk about it, so we're not missing anything. And we do get the verdict. That's the most important part. And we get to do what so many of you have asked. Body cams in court. It's on a very tiny screen in the top corner of the courtroom. But, I mean, we get to listen to it. And we get the officers' reactions. Oh, Jerry, that's so sweet. Thank you. I will. Oh, y'all keep an eye on that channel. She'll post more stuff. She's like, Mom, I don't mind if they look at the pictures that I draw, but if I ever put myself on there, I don't think I want people to see me. That's not how that works. And you don't pick your audience. I mean, you can have a target audience, but you're gonna be wrong. Did I ever think that my target audience was gonna be you guys? No. No, I didn't know who I was gonna click with, actually. I'm so grateful it was you guys, though. People just as crazy as me. Oh, I love that, Eileen. I love that so much. We're going on a vacation. Oh, Ava, you went away sad. Was you trying to get a bully stick? There's Tiny. Were you trying to get a bully stick? You got a few left, baby. I know, you was trying to get Mama's attention. I know. And you can't have more treats, but you can have this. Oh, I'm gonna have to order you some more. Tiny kitten, how's my pretty baby? Hi, sweet girl. I love you. I love you, tiny kitten. Excuse you, ma'am. Did you not get treats on the cat tower? Should I give you some special? Should I give you some special? Come here, baby. Here you go, sweet girl. I love you. My tiny girl. She's so precious. Oh! I just threw Ava's bully sticks. Hold up 1 second. That was so not intentional. I went to grab them and like they hit the tips of my fingers and flew. my depth perception was off, I'm sure. That was all it was. That's my excuse. I'm sticking to it, guys. All right. I will absolutely let her know. You guys are the best. She'll be so excited. Oh, he loves being close to Mama so he can watch. He doesn't want to be where I'm constantly touching him or petting him. Like, he just wants to be by me, but in my business. No, man, I'm checking serial numbers. I'm checking dates. I'm looking at the signature line. I'm looking at the plate numbers. And when I open the rolls every single time, there's like this little, it's like a casino thrill, you know? You spin the slot machine, you open the coin roll, and it's like, is there any silver in here? Is there a proof coin? What am I going to get? And then you end up with, you know, the ones that you don't save, and you just turn them back in. It costs you nothing. And you get hours of entertainment. If they ever audited my bank account, they would think I'm rich. Because I have, you know, my coin money. And it gets redeposited. And more coins are purchased with the coin money. And then I go through them and I turn in what I don't keep. And it's a deposit. So it looks like I have money. I don't have money. I have coins, and they just keep cycling through the system. I've actually had coins that I recognized from previous rolls. That happened with the 50-cent pieces, but you cannot get 50-cent pieces anymore. You can't buy them anymore. The banks they can't even order them. 50-cent pieces, gold dollars, they've all been discontinued. You cannot get them at all. So the only way to find them is like private purchases. So the ones that I do have, I'm never turning them in. I'm never getting rid of them. I don't care if they're not worth anything. I don't care if they're beat to hell. They are mine. Hello, Speedermans! Aww. I told her that the comment that you said that you wanted to show your grandsons, because you said that right away, and she's like, oh, that's so cool. She's such a sweet girl. She came and saw me today. So you guys are actually really, really lucky that I'm here, because I spent a considerable amount of time helping my daughter get her car running. I've never tried that. I've never thought of that. That has never crossed my mind. I'm not saying it's a bad idea, but I've never thought of that. Ooh, that sounds so good. That does. I love and I miss the onions, cucumber, vinegar, and sugar. They always serve it in the summertime. I love that. Mm. Oh no. I can't imagine. There will be no pooflinging tonight. No. We are not going to the zoo. You hear that, guys? There is no pooflinging. There's nothing wrong with you. I'm sure if given the opportunity, I would turn my nose up at, Stromberg cheese and stuff. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with you. Just like a different food. Big deal. I don't mind pineapple on my pizza, and some people think that makes me the devil. Why wouldn't I pick Jerry? Jerry's fabulous. There we go. There we go. I do have the funnest crew. I have the best subscribers in all of YouTube. I say it all the time. I have the greatest community ever. That's why this is the best part of my day. I love coming and hanging out with you guys. Nice. That's a win right there. That's a win. I'm glad you're home, Squishy. Continue to get better. Oh my gosh. Gosh, if only she would. I will mention it to her. I will. She likes doing nature stuff. She's very into, like, oh my gosh, she made this animation with this bird. It was the most beautiful thing I've seen in so long. The bird was it was realistic, but you knew it was a pencil drawing. Oh man, she's so talented. But she hates doing projects where she's given the project. She likes spontaneously thinking of it in her brain. But I can beg her for months. I can offer her any amount of money. And I'm like, I just need this one thing made. This one graphic design made. One thing. No. She refuses to use her powers for good. Otto's here as a matter of convenience. I love you, Otto. Don't forget that her dad hates her. Well, she thinks he does. He just wants to sniff her butt. I mean, come on. There's some states where that flies. Not in Wisconsin. Oh, that's why I haven't hit the casino up. Oh, trust me. Trust me. The thought went through my brain of taking money into the casino, feeding it into the machines, playing like two hands to, make it an off dollar amount and cashing out, pretending like it's a winning, and taking it to the cashier counter and asking for all of my winnings to be given to me in coins. Depending on the amount. I mean, they could see that as a federal offense, but I won't be getting those amounts. But I don't want to draw any attention to myself more than I do. $24.50 plus shipping. I'll cover shipping. You got some wheat pennies in there? What you got? Come on, I gotta know. I gotta know the variety of the collection. Like, because that's nearly a box. A box of pennies from the bank was $25. Yeah, so, that's nearly a full box of pennies. That's a beautiful thing. That would cost a lot to ship, though. My goodness. Be cheaper to drive it here. We could meet for lunch. Yup. The super lemonade stands and quarters and dimes. I have to go through my dimes. I still have not found my 4th of July quarter. I did find a it's the new version of the Drummer Boy quarter. So the Drummer Boy quarter was the bicentennial. Everybody knows the Drummer Boy quarter. And then the new one is the same character, but it's the semi quintessential quarter. But he's got his hat on. Sorry, I know the camera isn't great because it wants me, but I love it so much. I am such a nerd, I know. But it's so pretty. I love coins. I love them. Oh, yes. I saw that too. Yes. I don't have awesome crows like that around here. I I had one, two, couple of times, just a couple of times when I used to put peanuts out and walnuts. I'd put peanuts and walnuts on my handicap ramp railing, and there were a couple of times where like 10, 15 crows and a bunch of red-winged blackbirds came down and like stomped the everything on the railing. They ate all of the peanuts, all of the walnuts. Like they were just decimated. It was just talk about a murder of crows. There were peanut shells everywhere. All of the other birds and the squirrels. They take the peanuts to their nest and eat them. No, not these crows. They left shells everywhere. They were fun to watch, though. Ooh, why? No, I don't want it. Mm-mm. We got up to like 72-ish, maybe a little hotter. I think like the midday sun right before, right before it starts cooling down. I think it was like 78 was high. And then it got nice and cool again. The Crow Man? The Crow Man went to jail? Don't fruit the beer. Don't fruit the pizza. Oh, no kidding, right? I would die. I would die. Oh, that's why you're still typing on the thing you hate. I'm sorry, buddy. You're just a step closer. Soon, soon. Sorry. Well, they have regular money coins and they manage their own money like a bank because people have odd dollar amounts on the end of their tickets. When you cash your ticket out, it could be for, $10.52 if you're playing a penny machine. So yeah, they do have denominations of coin. They don't use casino coins anymore. And the slot machines don't take coins anymore. It's all a ticket system. Ticket in, ticket out. But when you take that ticket to cash it out, you get quarters back. You get nickels, dimes, pennies. So, yeah, they do. Only, well, the banks usually have like a two-roll limit. If you go and ask for pennies, you're limited to a roll or two. That's it. I don't do that. I don't do that. I save them. The only time I pay with coins is if I'm tipping with 50-cent pieces or dollar coins or Susan B. Anthony's. Like if I have some that are like really beat up or I know have no errors on them or something, every once in a while I'll hand them out with a tip. just to, you know, I don't know, make someone else happy. Because people love them. People love 50-cent pieces. No one has ever been sad to get a 50-cent piece or a dollar coin from me. Yeah, but you didn't show me yours with the intention of sharing. You were taunting me. I was sad because I couldn't get pennies anymore, and he sends me a video of him pouring all of his pennies into a jug, and then pouring more, and then reaching his hands in and getting right in the pennies, making penny loving noises. I'm keeping it for blackmail. Oh, well, like Quick Trip here, not QUIK, the KWIK TRIP. It's kind of a Midwest thing, so that's why I specify. But anyways, they don't use pennies at all. And they internally manage their own money. Like they don't take their change to the bank, and they don't get change back. Like they have their own coin machines. It's all done internally. Like, yes, they take deposits to the bank, obviously, but the majority of, like, they always have the cash on hand because it's all an internal system now. And they round up if it's they round up in favor of the customer. So if the sale, if it came to, 52 cents or whatever, you're paying 50 cents. If it came to 58 cents, you're paying 50 cents. They're really good about it. They're nice. They're nice. They are such intelligent creatures. They really are. And they love learning games. They love working for their food. I wish I had some crows I had crows at my old place, but I think I don't have enough yard space here for them. Even though I put food out and stuff like that for the squirrels and the birds, the crows are not interested in my property. My neighbors are too close. There's not enough room. They just don't like it here. Oh, okay. Okay. Good. I'm glad the crow guy didn't go to jail. It's I keep these conversations. It's like card counting. I have to keep compartmentalizing the conversations to know which comment goes back to which discussion. I love chunky squirrels. It's always the females that get big and chunky. The males are the small ones with squirrels. Hi, Rachel. I haven't started yet. These guys have been keeping me busy. I'm trying to get to the end, but they just keep telling me stuff. I'm sorry. Oh, we really should get on with the case because this has been going on for almost an hour now, and it's an hour-long trial. I mean, come on, guys. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. Well, I'm 5 minutes behind on your comment, Rachel. I'll get started here in just a minute. Let me just scooch through and see if, oh nope, I was at the bottom. Cool. You timed that well, Rachel. I am. Oh, you guys are hilarious. You guys are the ones that direct how long I go for the monologue. All right, we're going to get on with the cases. I got to pee anyways, so it's perfect timing.
All right, we're back on the record in the new case. It's 26 CRB 371. Defendant's present with counsel. Prosecutor's back. Jury's not been brought back, coming back from a lunch recess. Did either counsel have an opportunity to review the proposed jury instructions? Ms. Yeager?
I had not yet.
Yes, Did you see anything in there?
Other than that type what you said, no.
Okay. When I was looking through OJI, I don't remember the whole state of mind and the threat stuff, but it's included in there. So whenever you get a chance, take a look at it, and I'll fix the typo on the front page. Anything else on behalf of the state before we get back underway?
No, Your Honor.
Did you anticipate how many additional witnesses you were going to be calling?
2.
Okay. And maybe your client, maybe not? No. Okay.
This is what makes me think that that it was a new day starting, because the judge was going over the things that he didn't remember, or whatnot. So I'm thinking that whatever day the trial was, I missed the first half of it, but you get the good stuff.
Unlikely.
All right. Let's bring him in.
All rise for the jury.
All right, please be seated. Record to reflect that the jury is now back in the courtroom. All 9 jurors have returned. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Ms. Yeager, your next witness.
Sergeant McClintock.
Very well.
Was it? I'm sorry.
McClintock.
Sergeant, if you'll come forward and be sworn.
Do you solemnly swear or do you affirm that the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, and under penalty of perjury?
Yes, I do.
For the record, please state your name, spelling your last,
Keith McClintock, MCC-LINTOCK.
and the address of your precinct.
3855 Outville Road, Granville, Ohio, 43023.
Thank you, sir. You may inquire.
Thank you. Sergeant, how long have you been in law enforcement?
22 years.
Okay, and how much of that has been with the Ohio State Highway Patrol?
All of it.
Ooh. How many till retirement?
I say 7, but we'll see.
Okay. What are your general duties with the Ohio State Highway Patrol?
The patrol basically focuses on traffic enforcement, crash investigation, assisting the motoring public.
And have you received all required training by the department?
Yes, I have.
And were you working on February 12th of this year?
Yes.
Were you wearing a uniform of the day like you are in court?
Yes, but long sleeves with a tie.
Oh, because it's winter.
Yes.
And were you operating a marked cruiser with a visible functioning light bar?
Yes.
And were you equipped with body-worn camera from that day?
Yes.
And how do you activate your body-worn camera?
It remains on, and then with our overhead lights on, once we open our driver's door, the body-worn camera will automatically activate. We can also press the camera to activate it manually.
Was it working properly that day?
Yes.
Okay. And around 10 in the morning, were you dispatched to a motor vehicle accident?
Yes.
Okay. And where was that at?
I was on Interstate 70 around milepost 115.
And is that part of I-70? Is that in Etna Township, Licking County, Ohio?
Yes.
And what information was relayed to you for this dispatch? were told that you were responding to?
I was at the post and overheard the radio traffic of a two-vehicle crash, and somebody was walking around the scene waving a gun.
So when you responded, were you the first officer from the patrol to arrive?
Yes.
Okay. And who else was already there?
The West Licking Fire Department was there, and so were two Pickering PD officers.
Okay. And by the time you arrived, where were the two vehicles involved in the crash? Where were they located?
The Jeep was in the grass median, and the Audi was stopped in the left-hand lane of 70.
Okay. And after you arrived, did you speak with the others on scene, Pickerington, West Licking Fire, about what they had done and seen upon their arrival?
Yes.
Okay. And did you make contact with the driver of both vehicles?
Yes.
Okay. And did either driver have a passenger, or were they the only occupants?
Only occupants.
Okay. And so since you responded, saw to an accident, and you were told there was a possible firearm, what did you do when you first arrived in relation to the firearm?
When I first arrived, I spoke with the fire chief. He kind of gave me a synopsis as to what had transpired previously. I asked him where the gun was at, and he said that the defendant had told him that it was in the center console of his vehicle, the Audi. I looked for the firearm, couldn't find it in the center console or the glove box, so then I already knew at this point that the defendant was in the West Licking ambulance, so I opened the back door to the ambulance and asked him where the firearm was at.
Okay. Was he surprised that you were asking about his firearm?
No, he just replied, "It's in my lunchbox."
Okay. Did you at some point ask him about him telling Battalion Chief Wagner that it was in the console instead of the lunchbox?
If I did, I don't recall. I might have.
Is your monitor on?
Right here, sir.
Yes.
Before I start playing, if I showed you your statement, would that refresh your recollection about whether or not you had asked the defendant about Chief Wagner's?
Yes.
Can I approach the witness, Your Honor?
You may.
Your statement starts here. Take a minute to review that and then let me know. There we go.
I'm ready.
Okay. So after reviewing that, did that refresh your recollection about asking the defendant if he had told Chief Wagner that his gun was in his console?
Yes.
Okay. And what did he say in response to your question?
He denied saying that to the fire chief.
Okay. And so back to the monitor. Do you recognize this footage here?
Yes.
And what is this of?
That's me driving to the scene.
Okay. So would this be your body-worn camera?
Yes.
Okay. And for your body-worn camera, do you have the ability to delete or edit or whatever, any footage that's in here?
No.
No.
But that might actually be Grimm's. I don't know. This is mine? Okay. Sorry.
You're fine. It's definitely body cam for the Highway Patrol.
Yes.
Okay. There we go. Technology is fantastic.
Has this been marked for identification
Yes,
purposes?
this is again Plaintiff's Exhibit 2.
2, all right.
What are you doing right here?
I'm attempting to move the Audi from the left-hand lane to the median to help clear traffic since it was a backup on 70.
Was that a safety feature?
Yeah, it was too high-tech for me.
I don't know how to figure out this.
I didn't know how to operate.
Jeez Louise.
Do you want him to move it?
Yeah, but I don't want him around this gun again. What the frick? There's only like a small compartment for the center console. I can't figure out what it is. Where's your gun at?
It's in the lunchbox.
In the lunchbox?
Oh, it's in the lunchbox there. Okay.
Are the keys in it right now?
Keys?
Are the keys to the vehicle in your vehicle?
I don't know. They might be in this pocket. Can you check?
Yeah. Are they hanging on your belt there?
No, sir. It's at the fob. It's I don't have it on me. It's probably in the car.
So the firearm is in his lunchbox. Right next to the carrot sticks, under the sandwich, little juice box in there. It's an acceptable place to keep your firearm.
You got ejected forward. My gun's always in the lunchbox though. It never came out. My phone is what came out with.
Okay, I'm not getting into that right
Yes,
now.
sir.
Why don't you get out? I'm going to have you move your vehicle into the median, all right? How about you not reach for anything?
Okay, yes, sir.
All right, I appreciate that.
Okay. Have to be long?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
I'm going to move your lunchbox out of the vehicle. What I want you to do when you get in your vehicle, back it up a little bit and then just pull right here into the grass, all right?
Yes, sir.
Why don't you stand over there and not directly behind me? How about that? All right, jump in the vehicle. Move it right here for me, please. All right? Road rage.
Okay, so what did you grab out of the vehicle?
The lunchbox.
Okay. And who is it that you just walked up and started speaking to here?
Trooper Grimm.
Okay. And did you and Trooper Graham look in the lunch bag to see if the firearm was where the defendant reported?
Yes.
That's the now house here on
I know.
right there.
Yeah.
Did he point that at us?
That's what she says. She said he pointed a gun at her, gets out after the impact, points a gun at her, and then when the FD shows up, yeah, there it is. When the FD shows up,
I heard you say, there it is. What was that about?
We had located the firearm.
And you're on remand for first witness.
Yes, you may, and you have continuing permission to do so.
I'm showing you what's marked as plaintiff's exhibits 3A and 3B. Can you explain what is photo 3A?
That's the lunchbox.
Okay. And then how about what's 3B?
That's a photo of the weapon or the firearm inside the lunchbox.
Okay. Are those true and accurate depictions of the lunchbox's condition and the internal contents as you found them?
Yes.
Did you, so at this point we heard you mention a road rage incident and you explained to Trooper Graham what happened, what information you had gathered, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Did you ask the defendant for his version of the events?
I did.
And what did he say happened?
He said he had ramped onto westbound 70 from 310 and was behind the Jeep Wrangler in the left-hand lane, moved to the right-hand lane, passed her, and then traffic begins to slow, and he's struck several times in the rear by the Jeep Wrangler.
Okay. And then did you ask him about, after the accident, any interactions between him and Ms. Johnson?
Yeah, he said that he, due to the impact, like all of the items apparently in his hands or lap, began to lunge forward. And as he's getting out of the vehicle, he said that he had his keys and his phone and wallet in his hand, and voluntarily said that his gun remained in the lunchbox. They had verbal words back and forth with each other.
Now, when you're volunteering information like that, when you have not been asked, you're telling on yourself. The officer says, you know, what happened? And you say, my gun stayed in the lunchbox. Okay. But yet, when the fireman asked what happened, he said, I've put my gun away. So he's kind of contradicting himself just a teeny bit.
Did Miss Johnson give you a description of the firearm?
Yes.
Okay. And what description did she give you?
She said it was a large caliber weapon. Said it was a big handgun. Said it was a brown or tan top frame to it with a black handle.
Okay. And does that match the gun that you found?
Yes.
Yeah, he's got a pocket knife. Can you put your window down a little bit?
Any other weapons or anything like that in the car? Here.
He's got a pocket.
Open the door? Yeah. Can't open the window, that's fine. Yeah, I tried.
Okay. Do you have the rest of your paper? You can just stay seated.
Okay.
You have the rest of your paperwork there?
Yeah, knife's right there, and then there is a knife in the back in the trunk, but it's like in a sheath and it's
In the trunk?
fucking folded. Yeah, I could
Okay.
probably crush it.
All right. Okay. Why don't you give me a verbal rundown as to what happened here from the beginning to the end?
I got on, so I'm going to work. Sorry, I can't see anything. Going to work on 70 westbound right now.
Where'd you get on 70 at?
310.
Okay.
From Tassel, from my place of Belleville. I'm on the right lane. I get in the left lane. We're cruising down to right around this area. Traffic starts to slow. I get in the right lane. It's open. So then I get over in the left lane in front of her. She didn't like that. She sped up. That's when traffic ahead of me started to stop. So I tapped my brakes. And that's when she hit me the first time. My head went into the steering wheel. And then she hit me again. And then that's when I locked them up. Because then she just kept hitting me and hitting me and hitting me. And then that's when I think we both got out. And that's where all my phone and all my keys and everything was just falling out of my hands and everything.
Yeah.
The gun never stays. The gun stays in the lunchbox. I know that, whatever to you, but The gun stays in the lunchbox.
Okay.
That stays until I get to work. Every fucking day.
Okay.
But yeah,
So you get out, and then what happens?
she starts yelling and shit and saying like, I hope you die, I hope you fucking, your car's totaled, I hope you go to hell, like all this shit. And so
What are you saying at this point? Anything?
probably a bunch of the same shit because we're fucking, you know.
That you hope she dies and that
No,
sort of thing?
not like that, no.
Well, what are you saying?
Stupid bitch, fucking cunt, you hit me,
Yeah.
stuff like that. Like, you're the one that hit me.
Okay.
Traffic stop. She was just irate the whole time, like fucking yelling, like, you're gonna pay for this, all this shit. Like, I just back and forth with just yelling, not like,
Yeah.
you're gonna die. I'm not saying that. Like, she said that to me.
Okay. So your stance is that the gun stayed in the lunchbox the entire time?
Everything for my work stuff is over here. When I go into work, everything stays in the car.
Yeah.
The only thing that comes with me is that laptop bag right there. That's
Okay.
it. Everything else stays
So
in here.
why when I talked to the EMS that he said that when they showed up on scene that you told them I put the gun away?
I never said that. I never
So
said
he's
that.
lying to me,
I
the
never said
EMS
that.
worker's
I
lying?
never said that.
So that's what you're saying, he's lying?
Never said that. I'm not saying that.
Okay. Can you describe your weapon to me?
It's a revolver. It's a 45 long full. Shoots 410, 45 long full. I don't know.
What coloring is it?
It's tan.
Tan?
That's
What color is
one
the
that you have in
handle?
possession. It's black.
Okay.
So what I take to work every day, it's the one that just stays in the lunchbox.
Yeah. So she would have never been able to see that weapon, correct?
Correct.
Okay. Is there a reason that she described that weapon to a T? Without being able to ever see it, is there a reason that she could have done that?
I don't know.
Okay. You find that to be odd?
I'm not going to answer that because you guys don't believe me, so...
I'm not saying I don't believe you. I'm just trying to get to the bottom.
I
I'm trying to get to the truth. That's all.
telling you what my story is.
That's another telltale sign. You don't believe me anyways. I'm sorry, but he's not your mom. That's that kind of guilt tripping, gaslighting shit. That's not gonna work.
So, Sergeant McClintock, at the firearm that you did locate, that the defendant is discussing here, exactly what type of gun is that?
It's a Taurus Judge, shoots a 410 shell.
And imagine I don't know a single thing about firearms. What kind of damage are we talking with that kind of a gun?
Oh, I don't.
Relevance.
Response?
The belief of serious physical harm, Your Honor.
I'll overrule the objection. Witness may answer.
I think it's dependent on what type of ammunition you're using for it. I think, as far as I'm aware, I'm not a professional gun person, but I believe it shoots a buckshot and it'll also shoot a slug. So obviously,
Belief of serious physical harm. I don't care if it's a BB gun. You're pointing it at me. I'm scared.
the slug would cause a significant amount of damage.
Okay. Could it incapacitate someone if someone was shot with such caliber round?
Absolutely,
Could it possibly cause their death?
absolutely.
Regardless, would it be painful?
Yes.
And then, so since Ms. Johnson told you how far away that they were at that distance, would it be a strong possibility or a minor possibility of being incapacitated?
Strong.
Objection.
Sorry.
I'll withdraw.
Very well. You may continue.
Thank you. Now, when you found this firearm, did you look anywhere else in the car for a firearm?
I looked in the center console initially, in the glove box. I looked in the back seat. I didn't see any other firearms.
And how many firearms did you believe you were looking for?
One.
Okay. At any time, did you see Ms. Johnson with a firearm?
No.
And at any time when you were there on scene, did you actually see the defendant with a firearm?
No.
Okay. Was his car damaged to where it couldn't be driven away?
He moved it from the left lane to the median. As far as driving it a considerable distance, I don't know. I believe he probably could have made it to work, but again, I'm not a mechanic.
But, did the police seize his vehicle?
He requested that it was towed, and it was towed at his request.
But it wasn't like impounded by the police to
No.
be stored at the police station? Okay.
No.
Did you at some point ask the defendant if he had made any threats specifically to Ms. Johnson as she had described?
Beyond the conversation that was just shown, I don't recall. I remember asking him if he replied in kind to her when he said that she had said that she had wished or hoped that he died. I asked him that, but beyond that, I can't recall.
Needed a ride or whatever?
That I might need a ride.
Might need a ride? Okay. All
I
right.
didn't know that I'd be disabled or what the severity. I assumed that the phone call was after I got hit, so I did see
Right.
it was all fucked up. So
Sure.
yeah, I did call her after the crash and just let her know that like I might need a ride, depending.
Okay. Did you at any point say, I'm going to kill you, or referencing death or anything like that to her, or I'm gonna injure you in any regard? No? Okay.
You right or left-handed?
I'm right.
What did you do with the lunchbox and the firearm? What was the last thing you did with it?
I gave it to Trooper Graham.
Okay. And then did it ultimately get logged into evidence back at the post?
It did.
Okay. And was that by you and Trooper Graham?
It was by me.
Okay. Did you see any visible injuries on the defendant?
No.
Okay. And while you were there, other than obviously the defendant and yourself, did you see anyone else get into his vehicle?
No.
The parts of the video that we've watched from your body cam, is that a true and accurate depiction of the events as you remember them?
Yes.
Nothing further at this time for Sergeant McClintock.
Cross-examination, Mr. Keys?
Yes, Your Honor, thank you. Afternoon, Sergeant.
Afternoon.
So when you arrived on scene, after speaking to people, you checked the center console for the firearm, correct?
Yes.
And it was not in there.
None that I found, no.
In fact, you didn't find, outside of the Taurus, any other firearms in the vehicle.
Correct.
Okay. When you went to the ambulance to speak with Miss McNew, you didn't even mention not finding it in the console, did you? You just asked him where it was, right?
Yes.
Okay. And he immediately responded, it's in my lunchbox, it's always in my lunchbox, right?
Yes.
Okay. And that is in fact where you found it.
Yes.
And is it fair to say from the picture it was like under some food and ice blocks and stuff like that?
It was mingled with those items, yes.
The gun in question. Do you have 3 out? I'll just use the gun.
I'd say he has AMD.
Yes. Hey, first one.
You may.
Now, a revolver has a barrel. It does not have what's called a slide, correct?
Correct.
Okay. And as someone who's familiar with firearms, it would make no sense to refer to the barrel of a revolver as a slide, correct?
Well, they're two different things.
Okay. When you spoke with Miss Johnson, she said the slide was brown, correct?
Yeah, I don't recall if she said slide or frame at this point.
And she did not mention anything about the color of the cylinder, correct?
No.
Okay. And that color of the cylinder is in fact black, right?
Yes.
With the actually, Judge, permission to apologize to the jury.
Any objection?
No.
You may proceed.
Revolver's a little bit smaller usually, correct? In the hand than say a 9 or something like that.
No, you're carrying a Desert Eagle. It's a rather big revolver.
That grip while holding it would within the palm, correct?
I'd have to see it in his hands.
Generally speaking, the grip is in the palm while being held of a revolver?
Objection asked and answered.
It's a different question. I'll overrule it.
Sorry, could you repeat that?
Generally speaking, with a revolver, the grip is being held within the palm, correct? That's proper carrying?
You hold the gun by the grip, yes.
Thank you. So, referring to this revolver as a pistol would not be describing it to a T, correct?
Well, I mean, I typically would allow people to say revolver and pistol almost interchangeably because a pistol could be a semi-automatic pistol or revolver. Some people would call that a pistol as well.
Some people
It's a slang term.
experienced people.
Well, I think pistol is a slang term for almost all handguns.
No further questions.
Redirect.
No, Your Honor.
All right, Sergeant, you may step down. You can go ahead and return the that if you're given to you. Is this witness excused?
No, Your Honor.
All right, Sergeant, if you'll go ahead and return the witness room, please. Sir. Your next witness,
Trooper Grimm.
Trooper, please come forward and be
Thanks,
sworn.
Sergeant. Sorry, I was calling you the wrong one all the time.
Do you solemnly swear to you affirm that the testimony you're about to give, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, under the penalty of
I do.
For the record, state your name, spelling your last,
It's Trooper Sean Grimm, Grim.
and the address of your post.
Work at the Granville Post 45. It's 3855 Outville Road, Granville, Ohio.
Thank you, sir. You may inquire.
Thank you. Trooper Grimm, how long have you been with the Ohio State Highway Patrol?
23 years.
And is that your entire law enforcement career?
Yes.
Look at all of the colored pins that he's gotten, all of the commendations. These guys have been with this law enforcement agency for the long haul.
Awesome. What are your general duties as a trooper for the Ohio State Highway Patrol?
Traffic enforcement, responding to incidents, assisting motoring public.
You received all training as required by your department?
I have.
Okay. And were you working on February 12th of this year?
I was.
Were you wearing a uniform of the day like you are in court, but with long sleeves and a tie?
That's correct.
Were you operating a marked cruiser with a working visible light bar?
I was.
And what shift or what hours would you have been working that day?
6A to 2P, the day shift.
Okay. And do you recall being dispatched to a motor vehicle accident that morning?
I was.
Okay. And where was that at?
It was on Interstate 70 westbound near mile marker 115.
Okay. And is that in Etna Township, Licking County, Ohio?
It is.
And what exactly was the nature of this dispatch?
Dispatch came across the radio, dispatched me to it, and said it was a motor vehicle crash with two vehicles, and one of the occupants is pointing a gun at the other occupant. Is how I got the call.
Okay. And by the time you arrived, had you received any word about whether the gun was secured?
Yeah, we were getting follow-ups. I requested them to contact Pickering to get there. They're a little bit closer to assist with it, but I was informed when I was halfway there that the gun was secured, and there was no threat. So I backed down from going lights and sirens at that time.
Did they tell you how the gun was secured or by whom? Any specific?
I was just advised by the Licking County Fire Department that it was secured.
Okay. So when you arrived, did you meet with Sergeant McClintock and get a rundown of what had happened so far?
Yes, I did.
Okay. And did he give you a lunchbox?
He did.
Okay. And what was the significance of the lunchbox?
He said that the handgun that was in question was in the lunchbox.
Okay. Did you and him open it and find anything?
Yes, we found a revolver inside the lunchbox.
Your Honor, may I approach?
You may, and you have continuing permission to do so with this witness.
I'm going to show you what's marked Plaintiff's Exhibits A through G.
You mean 3A through 3G?
Yes. I'm going to take a gander at those and tell me, do you recognize them?
I do.
And once you filter through all of them, Started with. So starting with 3A, what is 3A?
This is the cooler that Sergeant McClintock handed me at the scene that contained the gun.
And by cooler, you mean the lunchbox?
The lunchbox, yes.
Okay. And then what is 3B?
3B, this is the handgun that was inside the lunchbox next to two reusable ice containers.
Okay. And do you recall were those ice packs cold?
Yes.
Okay. And then next one is 3C.
This is a picture of the guns. Obviously, I made it safe. The rounds, it's 5 rounds of 410s that are next to the gun, and it's next to the holster.
Okay. You said you made it safe. What do you mean by that?
I unloaded it.
So it was loaded inside the lunch.
Yes.
Okay. And then on to 3D.
This is another picture of the handgun with the 5 rounds next to it on top of the cooler.
Okay. And then I think we're on E, 3E.
This is another picture of the handgun on top of the cooler with the rounds.
Is it a closer view or a further away view?
It's like a closer, the bottom portion of the, yeah. It's the serial number, I think it's why, yeah. I was trying to get the serial number, and I think I got a better picture with the other one. Yep.
Okay. And then 3F.
This is a picture of the gun with the rounds and on top of the cooler, and it's got a picture of the serial number that I wanted.
And with the serial number, does it also say what kind of gun, what caliber gun?
Yeah, it's a Taurus 45 caliber /410. That means it can shoot both rounds. And at this point, they had 410s in it, but it also shoots 45, which makes it a little unusual for a gun. And it's called the Judge, and it's tan in color, black revolver, and a black grip.
Okay. And I think we're at the end, 3G.
Yeah, another close shot of the gun, better shot of the serial number.
Did you take these photographs?
I did.
Are they a true and accurate depiction of the lunchbox and its contents as you saw them?
They are.
Oh. So once you went through the lunchbox, took the photos, did you also end up speaking to the drivers of the motor vehicles?
I did.
Okay. And who was driving the white Audi?
The white Audi was Mr. Kobe McNeil.
Okay. And I might have already done this, but is Mr. McNew in the courtroom?
He is.
Okay, could you point out where he is seated?
He's sitting to the right of you in a black suit and black tie, white shirt.
Stipulated, Your Honor.
Thank you. So when you went and spoke with him, did you pat him down for weapons? Anything like that?
Yeah, he would have been patted down to be put because I had him placed in my back of my car so I could follow up with him with questions.
Okay. And so did you ask him about how the accident occurred?
Yes.
Okay. And what did he tell you happened?
Well, he wrote out a statement. He completed the statement, and I read through it, and basically what he said that he was he got on from 310 and he was going westbound on Interstate 70. He approached the Jeep, which is a gray Jeep, the victim here, and was in the left lane. He decided to make a pass, so went into the right lane. He said he used his turn signal, passed her, and went into the right lane. Traffic ahead of him slowed. He slowed and was rear-ended.
Excuse me. And then at some point, did you ask him about what occurred after the accident?
Yes. He said that after the incident, he said he got struck a couple times. He said like she kept hitting him. Like there was an impact and there's a couple other impacts afterwards. So he said that he exited the vehicle as the other person was exiting the vehicle, and they exchanged some words.
Okay. Did you ask him about Ms. Johnson's allegations of him pointing a gun at her?
Yes, I asked him several times about that, and he said that he never had the gun outside of his vehicle. He never brandished it. He never had it in his possession while at the time of the crash, and it was always secured in his lunch box the whole time. Crash.
I assume you have some training and experience with firearms from what you've said so far. have you had a lot of training and practice with firearms?
With the academy, yes.
Okay. And they talk to you a lot about gun safety,
Yes,
things like treat every gun like it's loaded, regardless.
absolutely.
Okay. So based on your experience, the way that you found the firearm in the lunchbox,
Objection relevance.
Well, why don't you guys approach? White boys, maestro. All right, objection is overruled, and Ms. Yeager, you may proceed.
thank you. So the where and the manner in which you found it, based on your personal experience, your training, is that an unusual place to store a firearm?
The handgun was secured in a lunchbox, and it was secured inside a, I guess it would be like a belt keeper strap.
Holster.
Holster, yeah. So what was unusual about it is like, why a gun would be stored in a cooler next to 3 reusable ice things for, to keep your lunch cool is very unusual. You don't want to keep a weapon in a cold spot. It's like putting your weapon in a refrigerator. It makes no sense. So I thought that was unusual to begin with, but that's where it was found.
Okay. And when you were talking to the defendant about the crash, did you ask him if he was wearing his seatbelt?
Yes,
Okay. Was he wearing his seatbelt?
he said yes.
Did you cite either person for the crash?
The crash was after the investigation. I determined it was Mrs. Johnson's fault for the ACDA. She was issued a citation for the traffic. At the end of everything, I told Mr. McNew that all this would be filed up and reviewed by the prosecutors for the other additional charges.
So if he had kept his temper in check, she would have been the at fault for the crash, and he would have gone home and filed with his insurance company. But no, he had to let his temper get the best of him and pull out his pistol.
And ACDA is assured clear distance ahead?
Yes,
Okay. So basically when you rear end someone?
yes.
And did you ask the defendant if he was right or left-handed?
I asked that. He said he was right-handed.
And why did you ask him that?
I wanted to know what hand he would more than likely hold the gun in. More than likely, if you're going to hold a gun, you're going to hold it in the hand that you're most dominant in.
Saying death or anything like that to her, or I'm gonna injure you in any regard? No? Okay.
Right or left-handed? I'm right-handed, sir.
Right hand?
What you hit in the rear. At least 4.
Did you, when you were given the gun by Sergeant McClintock, photographed it, you secured it in your vehicle?
Yes, I secured it, made it safe, secured it back in the trunk of my area and my stored container area, and it was later taken back to the post, test fired by me, and put into evidence by Sergeant McClintock.
So how do you test fire a gun?
Basically, you take it out to the post, to a safe location, you put a round in it, and you shoot it in the ground, and you make sure it works.
And did this gun work?
Yes, it did.
And did you see any visible injuries on either person from the accident?
No.
Nothing further, Your Honor.
Cross-examination, Mr. Keys?
Bruce, Your Honor. Afternoon, Mr. Grimm.
Good afternoon.
With this, you said that you cited Miss Johnson for the ACDA violation, correct?
I did.
Okay. During your interaction with her, she was attempting to place blame on Mr. McNew the entire time, correct?
Yes, she believes, from what she was telling me, that she thinks that Mr. McNew abruptly changed lanes and stopped on purpose.
Did she ever provide you with a copy of insurance?
I'll have to look at the file. Either on the ticket, if she didn't, she would have had to forward it to the court.
No. Other red one.
Oh,
Yes.
Say 57:30.
Going probably about 80, 90, and jumps in front of me immediately. Don't use his blinkers, don't do nothing. He
Okay.
literally, like, pretty much just cut me off.
Well, if we're good, did you find your insurance card? I do.
No.
Who's it through?
So, she indicates she had insurance, but never provided it to you, correct?
I don't know if she provided it later, and I'll have to look at the report, the crash report, see if,
The Taurus, you found that at the bottom of the lunchbox, correct?
yeah, we opened it up around the same time when he was next to me, and it was, yeah, located in, underneath his lunch.
Okay. Now, the prosecutor asked you about the location of that. In your experience, do people take lunchboxes to and from their work sites?
Yeah, yes.
So having it all in one location is kind of handy.
What do you mean, all in one?
Having your items in one location for transportation is more handy and easy, correct?
Yeah,
Yeah, having your stuff is handy. That's why women carry purses. But putting your firearm in a bag with ice packs is going to cause it to rust. No responsible gun owner is going to do that. None. That's what somebody does when they're trying to hide a firearm after they've just done something really stupid. And they want to make it look like they would never have had it out of that place. He'd have been better off putting it in the glove box and playing dumb.
No further questions.
Redirect?
Just briefly, Trooper Grimm, did you happen to ask Mr. McNew where he worked?
yes.
Where does he work?
He works at OSU. He said he runs the robotics. He assists with like the little robotics at OSU, I believe.
And you have some familiarity with OSU and their policies, correct?
Somewhat. I know that having a handgun on the campus is.
Objection, Your Honor. Relevance.
Response?
404.
Your Honor, well, if you're saying 404.
What's your response to the objection?
Okay, I'm sorry, was yours relevance?
I'm sorry, relevance.
Okay. It goes to the credibility and the veracity of the defendant's statement to the troopers.
I don't think OSU's policy has anything to do with his veracity.
Well, I'll allow the question. Obviously, the trooper will be subject to recross-examination on this topic. You may continue.
I'm sorry, you were starting to explain that OSU has a policy about handguns?
It's a public university, from what I understand, carrying a gun on the campus. I'll have to look at the actual policy, but I'd have to really look into the policy, but it just seems a little unusual to be carrying a handgun at OSU on a college campus in a lunchbox.
And have you worked special events at OSU?
Yes.
Okay. And at those special events, do they allow, what's the word I'm looking for? Attendees to bring firearms in?
There's a procedure, there's a specific place that they got to check in, and there's a procedure, but yes, they do. They have to check them in, and yes, there's a loophole on that.
Okay, thank you. Nothing further.
Recross.
Briefly, Your Honor. You got general information about his employment, correct?
I'm sorry, I
You just
didn't.
got general information about his employment, correct?
Yes,
You guys didn't talk about whether he actually steps foot on campus or just works for something related to campus, correct?
he told me OSU, is what he told me.
Okay. We didn't talk about his day-to-day routines or anything like that, right?
No, he said he just worked at OSU.
No further questions.
All right, Sergeant, you may retake your seat at council table.
Thank you.
Your next witness?
Your Honor, at this point, subject to the exhibits that state we arrest.
All right. Let's go ahead and take a recess. That way we can address the exhibits. before we get back underway. I've got about 20 after, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go ahead and we're going to reconvene at 2:30. I would remind you to discuss this case among yourselves or with anybody else. Do not permit anyone to discuss the case in your presence. Anybody asks you about the case, you tell them you're not allowed to tell them anything about it, even what type of a case that it is. And it is your sworn duty not to form any opinion on the case until it's finally been submitted to you. With that, we stand in recess.
All rise.
All right. I hit the pause button really quickly so that I could show Charlie and the other doubters. Yes, yes, it truly is Licking County. This is Licking County Municipal Court. There was a debate if it was Licking or Lincoln. It's Licking. And this is Judge David Stansbury. I love him. I really, I like this judge a lot.
Oh, shit. All rise. Licking County Municipal Court is convened.
Please be seated. We're back on the record in the new case. It's 26 CRB 371. Defendants present with counsel, prosecutors here. We had a brief discussion in chambers about the state possibly recalling a witness. Did the state intend to do so?
No, Your Honor.
All right. So let's go ahead and address your exhibits. The exhibits are, by my calculation, 1 is the audio recording of the 911 call. 2 and 4 are flash drives containing body-worn camera footage. 3A through G are photographs, and 4. Oh, I talked about 4. And then we had defendants A, that's not, you're not offering that. So is there any objection to states 1, 2, 3A through G, or 4?
There you are.
All right, those will be admitted without objection. Now does the state rest?
Well, Your Honor, just to note for the record, the 4 was a joint exhibit.
The 4 was what?
A joint exhibit?
Oh, I do have that down as a joint exhibit. Okay, so those are all going to be admitted except for the defendant's statement, pending defense counsel. Anything else?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Keys?
We do not call anyone, Your Honor, and I'm not submitting that.
Okay, all right. Are counsel ready to present closing arguments?
I believe so.
Sure.
Let's bring them in.
All rise for the jury.
Subcolors.
Specifically first.
No.
No.
Try that instead of.
No, you just red and blue.
Yep, I signed things in blue.
All right, please be seated. The records reflect that all 9 members of the jury have returned to the courtroom. Ladies and gentlemen, I have some good news for you. The parties have completed their presentation of evidence, so the only thing we have the only thing we have left and what we have to look forward to are the closing arguments of counsel and your final instructions, and then you'll begin your deliberations. The state bears the burden of proof in this case, as in all criminal cases, and for that reason, they'll proceed first. And as soon as we get set up, Ms. Yeager, you may proceed.
I mean, I'm allowed enough. These other ones can pick it up, but.
Let's include you, Ron.
Brand new system.
Is it like a week old? All right, everybody, welcome to the home stretch. Again, thank you for being here. I appreciate your time and your ability to sit here and listen to all of us today. I sincerely appreciate it. So let's talk about what I showed you today. I told you at the beginning I had to prove beyond a reasonable doubt that on or about February 12th of 2026 in Etna Township, Licking County, Ohio, that the defendant, Kobe McNew, knowingly caused Rashana Johnson to believe he would cause her serious physical harm. Well, let's talk about everything we heard today. Everybody testified that the events we were discussing occurred on February 12th. Everybody mentioned being on Interstate 70 and that it was in Licking County, Ohio. And all the two primary persons involved were Kobe McNew and Miss Marshana Johnson. Really, the thing that's in dispute is whether the defendant pulled a gun on Miss Johnson and said, "I'll shoot you." So let's think about what brought them there. They were driving along the freeway. The defendant is behind Ms. Johnson in his white Audi, and he decides to pass her. Okay, nothing wrong with that, right? You heard Ms. Johnson say he was tailgating her. She was watching like, oh my gosh, what's this guy doing? He was close. So he gets over into the right lane, passes her, and then cuts her off. Slams on the brakes. You heard her say it was his fault. He caused the accident. She believed that then. She believes it now. She understood she was cited, but she believed he caused it by cutting her off. Okay. Either way, it's a car accident. Most responsible people would just get out of their cars. Hey, are you all right? Let's call the police. Let's get our information together. No. She testified she opens her door, and at the same time, the defendant opens his. And as she's leaning out her door to say, "What the fuck, dickhead?" he's coming out of his with a gun in his right hand, pointing it at her, saying, "I will shoot you." Here she is, just in an accident, where she rear ends another vehicle, and he gets out and points a gun at her and threatens to shoot her. Now, if you recall, Mr. Keyes mentioned that this is like a he said, she said. Well, there is a lot of that, and that happens in most of the real world these days. But that doesn't make anything she said not true. So let's talk about what else she said. She admits she hits him, that her foot slips off, her car hits him again. She admits she gets out and is yelling not so nice things to him. She admits that. She's not trying to shield herself from wrongdoing. She's like, yep, I got out and I said that. And then she was staring down a barrel of a gun. Barrel's my word, okay? That's just what I just now called it, so let's just hang on the terminology here. So she's staring at this firearm that's pointed at her, and she describes it. Tan and black. Now, there's a little back and forth about what type of gun and all of that. As far as revolver, automatic, semi-automatic, which automatic and semi-automatic seem to be used interchangeably today, along with gun, pistol, firearm. Why not revolver? So, again, the question is, did he pull a gun on her and threaten to kill her? So when the police arrive, and they get all this information about how the accident occurred, and the fact that Ms. Johnson is saying, he pulled a gun on me. He pointed it at me. He said he was going to kill me. So they investigate. Well, as this is happening in real time, before the cops even get there, she's on the phone with 911 telling them that this jackass has a gun. And that the gun is this brown color, it's tan, it's black. She is describing this. And then she describes what he is wearing. She's telling the person on the phone, 911, there's this guy, I hit him, he's out, he's saying this is what he looks like, this is what he's wearing, here's the gun in his hand that he's pointing at me. In real time, within seconds, that is happening. And the fire chief arrives, and he's like, okay, what's happening? He parks, I believe he said 100 feet or so back from the defendant's vehicle that was still in the roadway, and to try to close that lane down since it's on a busy interstate. And you heard him testify today that when he arrived, the defendant approached him, came walking back to him. Hey, you know, the gun's secure. It's locked in it's secure in my console. Battalion Chief Wagner says, oh, okay, good. And asked him if he has any other weapons, has him deposit the knife he said he had in his pocket, and then go wait in the ambulance where it was warm since it's February, but also since the defendant's car was in the middle of the lane in an interstate, it was safe. That's part of his job. You heard him talking about safety. He had to make sure everyone was safe. And that's what he did. Completely unprompted, the first thing the defendant says to someone who's coming to render assistance, someone with the magic lights on the vehicle that gets to run red lights and things, gun secure in the console. Not, hey, I'm all right, she's fine. Hey, the sky is blue. No, first thing, guns in the console. That's what his focus is. Guns in the console. Pickerington police arrived, helped secure the scene, make sure that the defendant does not have any further weapons on him, and then just kind of maintains the status quo until the investigating agency can arrive. When they do, they get briefed from everybody already that had already done anything, spoken to anybody, and then they follow up on those things. They talk with Ms. Johnson about what happened with the accident, what happened after the accident. They go and talk to the defendant, what happened with the accident, what happened after the accident. And again, Ms. Johnson says, I'm sitting here. I get out and yell, what the fuck? And he gets out and points a gun at me. She again describes the gun. And officers go to look in the console because that's where were told the gun was. There's no gun in the console. Checks the glove box too, no gun there. And Sergeant McClintock goes straight to the source and says, hey, where's your gun? Again, the defendant didn't say, what do you mean, my gun? He didn't question that. He just says, oh, it's in the lunchbox. That's where it always is. No idea why this new officer who he hadn't seen yet is asking him about it. Just, oh, it's in my lunchbox. It's where it always is. It's where it is every day. To his credit, that is where it was found. And if you watch the video, you look at the pictures, you're going to see some consistent things, and that is this gun is what it matches the description that she gave to 911 and to the police. Every time that she has described that gun, including here today, she talked about it being tan, kind of brown in color, and black. She talked about the grip being black. You'll have these photos with you, and you'll see the lunch bag that everything was in. You'll see the gun. Yeah, that looks tan and black. She said a large caliber. And you can see yourself right here. Trooper Grimm told you about how this is a 45 that shoots either 45 or 410s. We heard Sergeant McClintock talk about the kind of damage that firearm and that kind of round could do to somebody or something. And that's important because, remember, I have to prove she believed he was going to cause her serious physical harm, put her at risk of physical harm. And not just a little physical harm, serious. Things like Sergeant McClintock described: death, incapacitation, serious pain. The judge will give you specific definitions of these terms like serious physical harm. And I argue that I think those things are pretty serious. This gun can cause serious physical harm if a bullet is fired from it at a person. Folks, I encourage you, if you need to review the video footage as we've seen today, review that 911 call, check it with the pictures. You will see the state has proved beyond a reasonable doubt that on February 12th of 2026 in Etna Township, Lincoln County, Ohio, the defendant knowingly caused Ms. Johnson to believe that he would cause her serious physical harm when he pulled a gun on her, pointed it at her face, and said, "I will shoot you." And folks, for that, I believe you will return a finding of guilt today. Thank you.
Mr. Keys, your summation?
Thank you, Your Honor. Thank you, everyone, for paying attention today. It is one of the longer municipal court cases, but like I said earlier, I hope that you have found how everything unfolds and the proceedings are at least interesting from a criminal justice perspective. I told you at the very beginning that this case will come down to credibility. After all, it's undisputed that the only two who were actually there is Ms. Johnson and Mr. McNew. No one else saw anything. This is all about, again, that he said, she said. And folks, I'll tell you, one of the hardest things to do is to tell lies and keep track of all of those different tendrils that the lie goes out to. And I expect that you all saw that today with Ms. Johnson's testimony. I think you'll find that she is not credible, both with respect to her motivation. As you saw throughout her entire testimony, throughout the entire 911 call, body camera footage, the main thing she talked about the most was how he was at fault for the accident. Now, the interesting thing about that, and why I submit to you that it impacts your credibility, is she is doing everything she can to say, he's at fault, he's the monster, it's all on him. Now, to submit to you, one of the big reasons why is this issue of insurance. She tells the officers, hey, I have insurance, yeah. Oh, you guys have been here for an hour. I still can't find the insurance, by the way. Trooper Graham said he never recalls getting it. It's awfully convenient because, you know, if everything she said were to be believed, then she'd not be at fault. And as we said, especially an Audi and a Jeep Wrangler are rather expensive vehicles to repair, especially when one is totaled. More importantly than that, what she said throughout the entire proceedings was absolutely inconsistent. The state wants to harp on, she said the colors, as if that's the only thing she said here today in front of you all. And it's not. She said, after the accident happened, he immediately jumped out, pointed the firearm at her. Approximately 10 feet away. Now that was made a big point, 10 feet person to person. Right at her face. She said she got a clear view of it. Was 100% sure that the gun was not the revolver, which was the only gun found in the vehicle, the only gun present. But she's absolutely sure it was a pistol. And she's a PAWTA police certified.
Objection. The PAWTA
Attended.
certification's not in evidence.
I'll sustain the objection.
Attended police training. So she knows her guns. She would never call that revolver a pistol. She knows that's not the one that was there. Her whole point is to be credible for this. But to say it's right there in your face, and it's not the gun that you're looking at in the picture in front of you, is extremely inconsistent. She said she was scared. That's why she called police. She was scared. You heard the 911 call. Most of the call was about, he's a jackass, pulled out in front of her, slammed on his brakes. I think it was even intentional. Now, she wants to muddy up the waters of purpose. Oh, I think he hit his brakes on purpose. It's clearly not what she was talking about. After this alleged brandishing of the apparently pistol, not revolver, she said, oh, he was circling my car, acting like a bully. Well, you also saw when she was talking to the trooper, he says, well, did he walk? How far up did he get? She said, no, he didn't go past the trunk. Again, you're saying he was circling your car, but he also didn't go past his trunk when you guys were interacting. It's mutually exclusive. It can't be both. One of the biggest things as well is she says that he was carrying the firearm around, and that as soon as the EMTs got there, or shortly before, he went and put it back in his car. And I submit to you, this is a very big one as well. She didn't want to give me a time frame. She's being very cagey when I said, well, about how long do you think it was? She wasn't wanting to give an answer. She finally did. 4 or 5 seconds. Now, it's undisputed the revolver was found in the lunchbox in his car. She didn't say he was in there messing with it. She said he opened the door and put it back in and went and talked to the EMT. It's inconsistent, again, that it takes 4 or 5 seconds to open the door, unzip it, put it underneath his food and his ice boxes, rezip it, put it back in there, and go. So, what the state is wanting you to hang your hats on is simply this mention of color. Black and brown. 2 common gun colors. But more importantly, she was saying, oh, the slide, that was the brown part. When I said, well, what color was the rest of the gun? You heard her testimony here today. She said the underbarrel portion, the body, and the grip were all black. You all saw the photo. Well, first of all, she's saying that's not the gun. The revolver has a tan barrel and body, as a black cylinder, which she said nothing about that, and a black grip.
Here's a thought. Maybe it looks different like this than it does when it's laying flat on a table and you take a picture of it. I mean, she saw what she saw. She was able to describe it pretty accurately. And you want to argue over the petty details. Your client is a fool. And so is his representation.
Cross-examined Sergeant McClintock about that. He's holding the gun. The grip of the revolver is going to be in his hand. Now, for some reason, Sergeant McClintock wanted to fight on that point, but use your common sense. It's right there. So what she could see was just the barrel. So no, she didn't describe the colors to a T. And certainly not here today. But she also didn't describe it accurately at all as far as to a T. She said it had a slide. She said it was automatic. What I would submit to you is, if you take all of this in totality, she's not credible. She has reason to lie and try to paint everything on Mr. McNew. The facts just don't support what she says. Mr. McNew is credible. He was consistent the entire time the police were talking to him. The state says, well, he talked to them about having a firearm. One is she was calling the cops about that, but also two, the chief discussed the firearm with him. So no, he wasn't shocked when Sergeant McClintock came up and said, where's the firearm? And again, she wants to point out some supposed inconsistency with that. Chief said he had it secured in his console. Now, I want you to ask yourselves, why would he lie to the chief about that, and then 5 or 10 minutes later tell Sergeant McClintock, without prompting, without any knowledge that he already searched the center console, no, it's in my lunchbox. It's always in my lunchbox. I think he just misheard. On the side of 70 with tons of vehicles going by. So he says that the gun is right there. It's always there. Yeah, we got out and yelled at each other. He didn't deny that. But he maintains to this day, I didn't pull out a gun, and the facts support his version, not Miss Johnson's. It's for that reason I ask you to find him not guilty. Thank you.
All right, Miss Yeager, your rebuttal.
Well, folks, believe it or not, I do agree with Mr. Keyes that credibility is a big factor here. So let's talk about that. He kept bringing up her insurance. Well, think about what is in evidence today. Whether she definitively did or did not have insurance, not in evidence. Trooper Grimm says, you know, I can't recall, I'd have to look it up. You know what? She's not on trial today. If Trooper Grimm tells you, if she didn't show it to me then, she would have to show it in court. And guess what? Her case, she said, was resolved. It's done. Also, he brought up about vehicles being expensive to repair. And Mr. Key specifically said, especially if the vehicle's totaled. What vehicle's totaled? Nobody sat here today and said a vehicle was totaled. In fact, I even asked Sergeant McClintock if the vehicle could be driven away. And you heard him say he wasn't all that, technologically advanced when he was trying to move the defendant's vehicle, but that the defendant himself was able to get in, start his car, and move it off to the side of the road. But even beyond those minor details, let's talk about how the defendant is not consistent. If you listen to the video, you heard him telling Sergeant McClintock and Trooper Grimm about what happened in the accident. And you hear him saying, she was hitting him, and she kept hitting him, and that his head was hitting the steering wheel. But he was wearing his seatbelt, and there's no injuries visible on him, to his face or what. Anything that that the medics, that the police, nobody could see. So how's he hitting his head on the steering wheel? And then, why lie to the chief about his gun being in the console? Maybe he misspoke, or maybe he flat out lied. Especially because he denies even telling Chief Wagner anything about his gun. Sergeant McClintock asked him, hey, why is the chief telling me that when he came up, you said your gun was in the console? The defendant clearly says, I never said that, I didn't say that. But the battalion chief said he was completely sure that's what was said. He was right beside him. That's what he was told. And the battalion chief, it's not like he gets a free toaster or something for coming to court or for saying a particular person made a statement. He has no motive to make any of this up. You know who does have a motive to lie? Someone who pulls a gun on another person to try to avoid getting in trouble for it. When you think about the gun and the color and the description and revolver, not revolver, I know Mr. Keys and I have spent a lot of time talking about that. When thinking about her testimony here today and what she was saying at the time of the event, you heard her say, we crash, we get out, these things get said, she jumps back in, she calls 911, you hear the 911 call, her talk to the police, all of these things are happening in very rapid succession. Her adrenaline's running, you hear her say that, because she was just in an accident, she just had a gun in her face. So I think it's possible she's just a little mistaken about revolver versus not revolver. In fact, when you're thinking about holding a gun and the grip being in the palm, also I guess depending on how big your hands are, and her being directly on with this instead of the side view of the weapon, maybe she just didn't see the burn. You heard her say trauma affects people differently. Based on the training that she had, she knows that. Well, I'm arguing that here to you today. The trauma of the event, of having a gun held in her face with someone threatening to kill her, her brain latched on to the big things. It's a gun. It's tan. It's black. It is, while those may be colors you see a lot, this combination is not a common color scheme.
Objection. Facts not in evidence.
I didn't hear the statement.
I said, you said.
The objection withdrawn, and you may continue, Ms. Yeager.
As I was saying, it's not a common color scheme combination whatever the right term is there. She was consistent in the moment to moment. This is what happened. I got out, said this. He got out, said this. He has a gun. He's pointing it at me. He's lying about his head hitting the steering wheel. He's lying about having a gun or where it is or who he tells he has one. And really, folks, the bottom line is they didn't know each other. How does she know he had a gun at all, let alone anything about what it looked like? He says it never came out of the car. It was in the lunchbox the entire time. How does she know? And then how did the police find a gun as she described? Folks, it's because he did this. He pulled a gun on Miss Johnson in a road rage incident after a crash and threatened to kill her. Therefore, folks, I ask for a finding of guilt. Thank you.
Well, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, you've heard the evidence and the arguments of counsel. The court and the jury have separate functions. You decide the disputed facts, and the court provides instructions of law. It is your sworn duty to accept these instructions and to apply the laws it is given to you. You are not permitted to change the law or apply your own conceptions of what the law should be. You'll be provided written copies of the instructions to have with you during your deliberations. Please do not concern yourself with trying to memorize what I'm telling you now. A criminal case begins with the filing of a complaint. A complaint informs the defendant he has been charged with an offense. The fact that it was filed may not be considered for any other purpose. The plea of not guilty is a denial of the charge and puts at issue all the essential elements of the offense. The defendant is presumed innocent until his guilt is established by proof beyond a reasonable doubt. The defendant must be found not guilty unless the state produces evidence which convinces you beyond a reasonable doubt of every essential element of the offense charged in the complaint. Reasonable doubt is present when, after you've carefully considered and compared all the evidence, you cannot say that you are firmly convinced of the truth of the charge. Reasonable doubt is a doubt based on reason and common sense. Reasonable doubt is not mere possible doubt, because everything relating to human affairs is open to some possible or imaginary doubt. Proof beyond a reasonable doubt is proof of such character that an ordinary person would be willing to rely and act upon it in the most important of his or her own affairs. Evidence is all the testimony received from the witnesses and the exhibits that were introduced during the trial. Evidence may be direct, circumstantial, or both. Direct evidence is the testimony given by a witness who has seen or heard the facts to which he or she testifies. This includes any exhibits that were admitted into evidence. Circumstantial evidence is the proof of facts or circumstances by direct evidence, from which you may reasonably infer other related or connected facts which naturally and logically follow according to the common experience of humankind. To infer or to make an inference is to reach a reasonable conclusion or deduction of fact which you may, but are not required to make, from other facts which you find have been established by direct evidence. Whether or not an inference is made rests entirely with you. Direct and circumstantial evidence are of equal weight. The evidence does not include the complaint, opening statements, and closing arguments of counsel. Opening statements and closing arguments are designed to assist you. They are not evidence. Answers of witnesses and statements of counsel that were stricken by the court or which you were instructed to disregard are not evidence and must be treated as though you never heard them. You must not speculate as to why the court sustained an objection to any question or what the answer to such question might have been. You must draw no inference or speculate on the truth of any suggestion included in a question that was not answered. You are the sole judges of the facts, the credibility of the witnesses, and the weight of the evidence. To weigh the evidence, you must consider the credibility of the witnesses. You'll apply the test of truthfulness, which you apply in your daily lives. These tests include the appearance of each witness upon the stand, his or her manner of testifying, the reasonableness of the testimony, the opportunity that he or she had to see, hear, and know the things testified to, his or her accuracy of memory, frankness or lack of it, interest and bias, if any, together with all the facts and circumstances surrounding the testimony. Applying these tests, you will assign to the testimony of each witness such weight as you deem proper. You are not required to believe the testimony of any witness simply because he or she was placed under oath. You may believe or disbelieve all or any part of the testimony of any witness. It is your province to determine what testimony is worthy of belief and what testimony is not. It is not necessary that the defendant take the witness stand in his own defense. He has a constitutional right not to testify. The fact that he did not testify must not be considered by you for any purpose in determining whether the state has proven its case beyond a reasonable doubt. The defendant is charged with aggravated menacing. Before you can find the defendant guilty, you must find beyond a reasonable doubt that on or about February 12, 2026, in Etna Township and in Licking County, Ohio, The defendant knowingly caused Roshana Johnson to believe that he would cause serious physical harm to her. Now, we've talked a lot about essential elements. I'm now going to define the essential elements of the offense for you. Knowingly. A person acts knowingly, regardless of his purpose, when he is aware that his conduct will probably cause a certain result, or he is aware that his conduct will be of a certain nature. A person has knowledge of circumstances when he is aware that such circumstances probably exist. Knowingly means that a person is aware of the existence of the facts and that his acts will probably cause a certain result or be of a certain nature. Since you cannot look into the mind of another, knowledge is determined from all the facts and circumstances and evidence. You will determine from those facts and circumstances whether there existed at the time in the mind of the defendant an awareness of the probability that his conduct would probably be of a certain nature or cause a certain result. Cause. The state charges that the act or failure to act of the defendant caused someone to believe that he would cause them serious physical harm. Cause is an essential element of the offense. Cause is an act or failure to act which, in a natural and continuous sequence, directly produces the belief of the other person, and without which it would not have occurred. The defendant's responsibility is not limited to the immediate or most obvious results of the defendant's act or failure to act. The defendant is also responsible for the natural and foreseeable consequences or results that follow in the ordinary course of events from the act or failure to act. Serious physical harm means any of the following. A. Any mental illness or condition of such gravity as would normally require hospitalization or prolonged psychiatric treatment. B. Any physical harm that carries a substantial risk of death. C. Any physical harm that involves some permanent incapacity, whether partial or total, or that involves some temporary substantial incapacity. D. Any physical harm that involves some permanent disfigurement or that involves some temporary serious disfigurement. And E. Any physical harm that involves acute pain of such duration as to result in substantial suffering or that involves any degree of prolonged or intractable pain. Substantial risk. Substantial risk means a strong possibility as contrasted with a remote or even significant possibility that a certain result may occur or that certain circumstances may exist. Reasonable belief by the alleged victim. In deciding whether Roshana Johnson had reasonable grounds to believe and an honest belief that the defendant would cause serious physical harm to her, you must put yourself in the position of the alleged victim, with her characteristics, her knowledge or lack of knowledge, and under the circumstances and conditions that surrounded her at the time. You must consider the conduct of the defendant and decide whether his acts and words caused the alleged victim to reasonably and honestly believe that the defendant would cause her serious physical harm. Threat. The defendant must prove that the defendant made a statement to or engaged in conduct affecting the alleged victim with an understanding of the threatening nature of the statement or conduct. If you find that the state proved beyond a reasonable doubt all the essential elements of the offense of aggravated menacing, your verdict must be guilty, according to your findings. If you find that the state failed to prove beyond a reasonable doubt any one of the essential elements of the offense of aggravated menacing, your verdict must be not guilty. Your initial conduct upon entering the jury room is a matter of importance. The first thing you should do is to elect a foreperson by a simple majority vote. The foreperson will see to it that your discussions are orderly and that each juror has the opportunity to discuss the case and to cast his or her vote. Otherwise, the authority of the foreperson is the same as any other juror. It is not wise to immediately express a determination to insist upon a certain verdict, because if your sense of pride is aroused, you may hesitate to change your position, even if you later decide that you are wrong. Console with one another. Consider each other's views and deliberate with the objective of reaching agreement, if you can do so without disturbing your individual judgment. Each of you must decide this case for yourself, but you should do so only after a discussion and consideration of the case with your fellow jurors. Do not hesitate to change an opinion if convinced that it is wrong. However, you should not surrender honest beliefs in order to be congenial or to reach a verdict solely because of the opinion of other jurors. You may not discuss nor consider the subject of punishment. In the event you return a verdict of guilty, the duty to determine the punishment is placed by law on the court. You must not be influenced by any consideration of sympathy or prejudice. It is your duty to carefully weigh the evidence, to decide all disputed questions of fact, to apply the instructions of the court to your findings, and to render your verdict accordingly. In fulfilling your duty, your efforts must be to arrive at a just verdict. Consider all the evidence and make your finding with intelligence and impartiality, and without bias, sympathy, or prejudice, so that the state of Ohio and the defendant will feel that the case was fairly and impartially tried. If during the course of the trial the court said or did anything that you consider an indication of the court's view on the facts, you are specifically instructed to disregard it. If, during your deliberations, you have a question for the court, it should be discussed in the privacy of the jury room. It should be reduced to writing so that there will be no misunderstanding as to what you're asking. It should not reflect the status of your deliberations. should then be delivered to the bailiff by ringing the bell, and she will submit it to the court. If the court can answer your question, you will receive an answer in writing. If the court cannot answer your question, you'll be advised of that in writing as well. You may not request a transcript or a summary of any witness's testimony. You must rely on your collective memory as to what each witness testified to during the trial. In the jury room, you'll have with you the following verdict forms. There's only one charge, so there's only one set. And they're identical in every way with the defendant's name, case number, and the charge. And don't read anything into the order in which I say this, but one simply says, we, the jury in this case, find the defendant, Kobe R. McNew, guilty of the offense charged in the complaint. And the other reads, we, the jury in this case, find the defendant, Kobe R. McNew, not guilty of the offense charged in the complaint. When you've reached a verdict, you'll complete the form that corresponds to your decision and sign the verdict form in ink. The foreperson will sign the appropriate verdict form 2 times, once in the capacity of the foreperson in the space indicated, and once as a juror on one of the 8 lines provided. The foreperson only gets 1 vote like everybody else, but must reflect his or her specialized status by virtue of the second signature on the foreperson's line. The court's going to place in your possession the exhibits that were introduced during the trial and the verdict forms. The foreperson will retain possession of these items, including the verdict forms, and return them to the courtroom at the conclusion of your deliberations. Both verdict forms, both the one that you sign and the one that you do not sign, should be placed inside the envelope. Until your verdict is announced in open court, you're not to disclose to anyone else the status of your deliberations or the nature of your verdict. At this time, I'm going to ask the attorneys to approach to inspect the verdict forms. I'm going to give you the ones you don't want. All right. Does either counsel have any objections or additions to jury instructions or the verdict forms, Ms. Yeager?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Keys?
No, Your Honor.
All right. Well, Ms. Wilson, you were selected to serve as the alternate juror in the event that a member of the panel could not serve to the conclusion of our trial. It's not going to be necessary for you to serve further. You're not to discuss the case or tell anyone how you would have voted until after the jury has returned a verdict. You'll be excused shortly, and if you have any belongings still in the jury room, you can retrieve those at the conclusions of my instructions. You're free to remain and await the verdict if you wish, or you can leave, but please stick around until I've had an opportunity to speak with you, okay? Now, for the remaining members of the jury, after you retire to the jury room, and whenever all 8, I repeat, all 8 jurors agree unanimously on a verdict, you will sign the appropriate verdict form in the appropriate verdict form in ink and advise the bailiff by ringing the bell, at which time you'll be returned to the courtroom. This time, Ms. Daly, will you please escort the jury to the jury room? You may be seated. I need to do a quick, for some reason I had defendant testifies in there and said defendant doesn't testify, so I'm just going to make that change for their copies. But you can be seated, but be aware you're still on the record.
Yeah, I text Sarah. I don't know if she made it down to tell them, but yeah, they can all go now. They can say if they want. Do you want us to call you? Or... Huh? Do you want us to call or text you?
No.
Okay.
I better.
Okay.
Church people?
Yeah, our churches are good.
All right, please be seated. We're back on the record in the McNew case, 26 CRB 371. The jury is no longer in the courtroom. They've begun their deliberations, and we're awaiting that verdict. Before we recess, though, to await said verdict, I wanted to go over the jury selection process this morning. By agreement, jurors number 7 Rogers, 31 Teferi, and 2 Metzger were excused for cause. The defense, over the state's objection, their challenge for cause to juror number 5 Schneider was granted. And then there was a juror that you asked to be excused for cause 18, which was
Michelle Doley?
Denise Mitchell.
Miss Mitchell. And the court overruled or denied that challenge. And it should be noted that juror number 18 was seated as a member of the jury. Now, as far as the peremptory challenges are concerned, the state's 3 peremptory challenges were 3 Hensley, 6 Keene, and 13 Curran. The defense's 3 peremptory challenges were juror number 1 Meyerly, 12 Davison, and 16 McVeigh Steele. Both parties passed on their opportunity to challenge the alternate Ms. Yeager, does that accurately reflect the jury selection process in the opinion of the state?
Yes, Your Honor.
And Mr. Keys in the opinion of the defense?
Yes, Your Honor.
Is there anything else that the state wishes to bring to the court's attention before we recess?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Keys?
No, Your Honor.
Very well. That'll be all. This court stands in recess. Don't go far.
All rise.
In fact, don't leave the floor without checking. All right, we're back on the record in the McNew case, 26 CRB 371. Defendants present with counsel, the prosecutors here. The jury has been deliberating for approximately almost 2 hours. We've received a question from the jury which reads as follows. Quote, may we have some clarity on the totality on aggravated menacing, period, based on Rashana Johnson to believe that the defendant would cause serious physical harm to her, period. Do you have to point a gun at someone to warrant an aggravated menacing charge, question mark, or just quote unquote showing, question mark? After consulting with counsel, the court is going to send the following response to the jury. The essential elements of aggravated menacing have been provided to you in the jury instructions. Any objection, Ms. Yeager?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Keys?
No, Your Honor.
All right, go ahead and file stamp that and then take it back to the jury. And let's see where they come back. If they haven't come back at 5:30, I'll get some kind of message to them asking them,
If
if they believe that they can reach a verdict in
Got
a
it.
reasonable amount of time. Okay?
sounds good.
We're back on the record in the McNew case, 26 CRB 371. The defendant's present with counsel, prosecutors here. Bailiffs informed the court that the jury has announced it's reached a verdict. Is the state ready to receive that?
Yes, Your Honor.
And the defense as well?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, very well. Well, let's bring him in, Miss Daly.
All rise for the jury.
All right, please be seated. The record should reflect that all 8 members of the jury have now returned to the courtroom. The record should also reflect that minutes ago, the court sent back a note to the jury asking if they wanted the court to procure dinner for them. Given the fact that they've reached a verdict, I'm going to infer that the answer to that question is no. Juror number 1, my understanding is that the jury has reached a unanimous verdict.
Yes, sir.
Can you go ahead and provide the bailiff with the envelope containing your verdict forms? All right, in the case of the State of Ohio versus Kobe R. McNew, case number 26 CRB 00371, on a charge of aggravated menacing, the verdict form reads as follows. We, the jury in this case, find the defendant, Kobe R. McNew, guilty of the offense charged in the complaint. Appears to be signed by all 8 jurors and again by the foreperson. Mr. Keys, do you wish for the jury to be polled?
No, Your Honor.
Very well. At this time, I'm going to have the bailiff escort the jury into the jury room. I'll be in momentarily to debrief you and discharge you, and then we'll come back out and we'll conduct sentencing. All right? Is Miss Johnson still watching? You guys can be seated. And trust me, I will make this brief today. And just so you know, we're still on liquor.
Yes.
They changed the I think they have. Okay. All right, we're back on the record in the case of the State of Ohio versus Kobe McNew. The jury has just been discharged after returning a verdict of guilty on the sole count contained in the complaint, that of aggravated menacing. There it is. Mr. Keys, would you care to make a statement of mitigation on behalf of your client?
Yes, Your Honor. First, we note to the courts, obviously, Mr. McNew has very limited criminal history prior to this point. I'd submit to the court as well that the length of the deliberation speaks to the toughness of this case. He has been on bond with this court for about 5.5 months now. There's been no violations. We'd ask the court, in light of all that, to impose a suspended time and term probation.
Thank you. Mr. McNew, you have a right to address the court if you wish before I make any decisions. Is there anything you'd like to say on your own behalf?
No, Your Honor.
Ms. Yeager, anything further from the state? And I believe that we've addressed Marcy's law and the fact that the defendant was, or the victim was present, testified, but elected to leave, correct?
Correct, Your Honor, and the state has nothing to add to our pretrial negotiations. Thank you.
Do you still work at OSU, Mr. McNew?
Yes, I work at OSU currently.
Do you work for OSU?
Negative, no, sir.
Contractor?
Yes.
All right. In line with the discussions that were had at the pretrial conference that was conducted back in May, the court's going to suspend a 90-day jail term in its entirety to place the defendant on probation for a period of 1 year. He'll be required to successfully complete an approved anger management program. He's not to have any contact with the victim in this matter, and he's to maintain suitable employment. The fine's going to be $200. Costs are going to be assessed. Do you have any questions about that?
Your Honor, if I'm already in some sort of mental health with.
Just go over it with your probation officer, and if it satisfies them, it'll satisfy me.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Now, you have a right to appeal both the conviction that was entered today and also the sentence that was imposed. You have a right to have a notice of appeal filed within 30 days of today's date. You have a right to obtain a transcript of all relevant hearings, including this trial, and you have a right to be represented by counsel. If you qualified as indigent, you'd be entitled to have the attorney appointed at no cost and the transcripts provided at the public expense. Do you have any questions either as to your sentence or your rights to appeal, sir?
Not at this time, Your Honor, no.
Mr. Keys, is there anything else we need to address on behalf of your client?
No, Your Honor.
And Ms. Yeager, anything further on behalf of the state?
No, Your Honor.
This court stands adjourned.
I kind of think he did learn something. You know, he kind of had a chip knocked off of his shoulder. He thought he was big and bad. He thought he could get away with it. He lost his temper. But he was found guilty. And, you know, she was at fault for the accident. So even if he did cut her off and slam on his brakes like she claims, he got away with that part. I'm not saying he did it. She said he did it. I really wish we got to hear that 911 call, though. I wish I had been able to get the whole trial. But I'm glad that we got what we got. He certainly is a jackhole. Yeah, that's telling. You know, I mean, granted, I'm all for people getting mental health treatment when they need it, but you know, if you're in a mental health program, you're supposed to disclose that on your application for a firearm. So how'd you get that, boy? Because if you've got mental health problems, you don't need to be carrying a gun. Every T2A person will say that. Yeah, he was. Yeah. Mm-hmm. All right, we got one more to go.
All rise.
You one of my guys? Yeah. Who are you for?
Not just quite.
It's not.
I try my best whenever I'm on Zoom to be at least muted because I never know
Right.
what's going to come out of my mouth. Usually, sometimes it's even a surprise to me.
Well, we definitely have people, I don't think they intend it, but people walk in their office and start talking, you know, some of that you can't really control 100%.
Yes, I try my best. It's a little bit of my nightmare fuel is to accidentally forget to do that and then be broadcasting that to the court and say something in frustration that is not necessary.
All right, are we ready for Mr. Gray?
Yes.
Do you need an agent? On the record in state of Michigan versus Matthew Gray, 2502113FD.
Peter Birch for the people.
Georgia Net APD map, my client is staying to my left.
Thank you. And you are Matthew Gray?
I am, Your Honor.
Today's the date for probation violation hearing. It's a delayed sentence violation. Mr. Gray, as a reminder, you're placed on a delayed sentence for an OWI third offense. So if you violated the terms of your sentence, you could face up to revocation from specialty court and up to 5 years in prison. You have the right to have an attorney. Mr. Anid's representing you. You have the right to have a hearing where it must be proven by preponderance of the evidence that you violated the terms of your sentence. The alleged violation today is failure to refrain from alcohol per Coordinate Health Solutions on July 6th. Defendant tested positive for alcohol on the ETG ETS test. Mr. Anid, how are we going to proceed?
It's my understanding this, he only has one prior violation before this, Your Honor. In December.
No, he's had 5, 6, 7 prior technical violations. This will be his 8th technical violation. And this is non-technical because it's an OWI third. Test positive for alcohol while on OWI third, it's a non-technical violation.
I guess my question is, do you, based on the information that you have in front of you, do you intend to revoke his probation today?
Yeah, I will keep him in specialty court, but he's at the end of it. If he can't learn to be honest, he will be revoked from specialty court, because that's sort of the whole point. And he's been in the program long enough that when he has an issue, he should be using his tools. But if something fails there, he should be honest about relapse. He can't start being honest about relapse. He can't stay in specialty court because he's been in since September last year.
Your Honor, I'll be entering today a guilty plea with explanation.
Mr. Gray, if you proceed with pleading guilty, you're going to give up your right to have a hearing on whether you violated. You understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
Also, you understand that you may have a recommendation from probation as to how you might be sentenced. That's a recommendation, and the sentence is what I decide. Do you understand that as well?
Yes, Your Honor.
Raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give will be the truth under penalty of perjury?
I do.
Mr. Gray, you remember being sentenced into specialty court in September of 2025?
Yes.
And obviously, it's a clear condition of probation that you are not to consume any alcohol. You remember that?
I do.
Is it true that you tested positive for consuming alcohol on July 6, 2026?
Yes, Your Honor.
And that's because you consumed alcohol?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did anyone make any promises or threats to you to get you to plead guilty here today?
No, Your Honor.
Are you pleading guilty of your own free choice?
I am, Your Honor.
Find your guilty plea to be knowingly, voluntarily, accurately made with sufficient facts on the record upon which to base your plea. It's therefore accepted. That is one. There's another one. Oh, shoot, it's the failure to attend COG. I need to do that one. That's one non-technical violation. There is one additional violation here that I missed. It was added after. Just gotta find the paper. It's the additional violation, Mr. Gray, of failure to attend your in-person risk assessment on July 14. How do you want to plead to that one?
Guilty with explanation, I guess.
So you are far enough in your counseling that you had to do another risk assessment with cognitive consultants?
Yeah, I was completed with the classes, and I was called in to do my risk assessment the day after the night class, my final night class. And I was reviewing actually what Eric at COGS had written down as notes to me. And I was looking for the date that I was supposed to go in for my end review. And I hadn't put it, I got a calendar from the court that I used.
Mr. Gray.
And I didn't transfer.
No, just stop. I'm not interested in a very long excuse. You didn't show up on time for the assessment, right?
I did not show up in time.
And then they said, okay, maybe we can squeeze you in later today, and you didn't come back, right?
They didn't call me to confirm that they could.
But it's my understanding that they did not say they were going to call you. They said, come back later today and we'll work you in at 2:30, whatever it was, and you didn't come back. Is that right?
No, that is not how I understood
Okay.
it. Madison was supposed to
And
call
let's
me.
go back. But the first failure was not showing up on time that morning to begin with, right?
Yeah, that was totally
Okay.
my bad.
It's an additional technical violation. Mr. Gray, you're still doing it. I just gave you a very long speech about how if you can't be honest, you can't stay in special court. That's accountability. You're blaming other people. I'm not interested in hearing you blame other people. Mr. Gray is responsible for Mr. Gray.
No, I take total responsibility for missing that.
And so when you start to launch into a very long explanation about how it's all a big misunderstanding, and that is not accountability. Accountability is, I missed it, I'm responsible for that.
That's what I would
You
like to-
understand?
Yeah, that's what I would like to say. I did miss it, and it was my fault.
Do the people have a position on sentence today?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Nid?
Your Honor, Mr. Gray is before the court accepting responsibility for both probation violations for the alcohol and the missed meeting. He understands both of the violations of the court order and he's pleading guilty because he wants to take responsibility rather than make excuses for other than himself. With respect to missing the meeting, kind of what he explained, the way he explains it was a misunderstanding. It's still his fault and he's taking full responsibility, blaming nobody else but his own. As to the positive alcohol test, my client recognizes that he has a substance abuse problem. That is precisely why he chose probation instead of going forward on the felony or serving a jail sentence. He understood that probation would provide accountability, treatment, and structure he needs to address his addiction. Unfortunately, recovery, as you know, is not always straightforward, and relapse can occur. This positive test reflects as a setback, not a refusal to comply with unwillingness to change. My client understands that it is not his first violation, and he appreciates the court has already shown him leniency in the past, about 8 times, I think you said. He is asking the court not to view these violations as a reason to abandon his rehabilitative process, but rather as evidence that he continued to need the supervision and support that probation, especially the late sentence, provides. We respectfully ask the court to impose little to no jail time, continue on probation, or even extend probation if that's a possibility in the specialist court as the court finds appropriate. He's accepting full responsibility today and asking for the opportunity to continue to go forward with the sobriety.
Mr. Gray, what would you like to tell me?
I don't know if it's an appropriate time, but I am going to be getting a prescription for antabuse, which I'm sure you've heard of. And that will, I think, help me to avoid any prompts that might come along for alcohol.
Anything else? You want to say anything else?
I don't know that I do.
Mr. Gray, relapse can be part of your recovery journey, but you have to be honest about it. And you have struggled to be honest each time you've relapsed in specialty court. And I've consulted with the treatment team about where you are at in your treatment and your acceptance of accountability. And there's definitely room for growth there at this point. You have to stop reverting to old coping skills where you try to lie or cover up or blame. None of that is going to aid you in long-term recovery. And you don't want to go back to the lifestyle you were living where you're leaving a pint of liquor in your chainsaw case that you might come upon. That is not normal behavior. Nobody just has pints of liquor laying around their house if they don't have an issue with.
Or have an issue that's been there for quite some time.
Right. Well, that's the problem though. All that needs to be dumped and flushed and gone, because if you haven't gotten to a place in your recovery where when you see it, you dump it, or if you feel like using it, you call your sponsor. And if that fails and you drink, you admit it when you're at group, you admit it to your therapist, you admit it to your sponsor. And then as long as you're under supervision of the court, you admit it to your probation agent. You're not going to get yourself long-term recovery and you're going to be back here on another felony in the future. The whole goal of this is that you don't come back. Based on where we're at, I will continue you in specialty court, but Mr. Gray, if you're dishonest again, it's going to be the end of the road for you. We'll continue specialty court and delayed sentence. When you're going to do a relapse prevention class, you're going to serve 14 days in jail, and then you're going to do 90 days on scram tether again, where we can monitor your alcohol consumption 24/7. If you'd like to appeal my sentence and you need a public defender to assist you, you need to make your application within 14 days. Any questions about that?
Is that, can he turn himself in later today?
No. No, it's an immediate sentence. Mr. Gray knew what he was here for. It's not a surprise.
Hey, 2 weeks is 2 weeks. Or 16 days.
I want something.
I don't think it's enough, but it's something. Oh, was it
It's
it
14 days
14? I thought it
consecutive.
was 16.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks, okay.
So, I'll just.
No,
Hold on. Let's I thought it was 16. I might be
Can't see
wrong.
especially court. That's accountability. Have a position on sentence today?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Nin?
Responsibility today, and asking for the opportunity to continue to go forward with the sobriety.
Hi,
Mr. Gray, what would you like to tell me?
I don't know if it's an appropriate time, but I am going to be getting a prescription for antabuse, which I'm sure you've heard of. And
Yeah.
that will, I think, help me to avoid any, any prompts that might come along for alcohol.
Glaciarism.
Anything else? You want to say anything else?
I don't know that I
Thank
do.
you.
Mr. Gray, relapse can be part of your recovery journey, but you have to be honest about it. And you have struggled to be honest each time you've relapsed in special court. And I've consulted with the treatment team about where you are at in your treatment and your acceptance of accountability. And there's definitely room for growth there at this point. You have to stop reverting to old coping skills where you try to lie or cover up or blame. None of that is going to aid you in long-term recovery. And you don't want to go back to the lifestyle you were living where you're leaving a pint of liquor in your chainsaw case that you might come upon. That is not normal behavior. Nobody just has pints of liquor laying around their house if they don't have an issue with.
Or have an issue that's been there for quite some time.
Right. Well, that's the problem. All that needs to be dumped and flushed and gone, because if you haven't gotten to a place in your recovery where when you see it, you dump it, or if you feel like using it, you call your sponsor. And if that fails and you drink, you admit it when you're at group, you admit it to your therapist, you admit it to your sponsor. And then as long as you're under supervision of the court, you admit it to your probation agent. You're not going to get yourself long-term recovery, and you're going to be back here on another felony in the future. The whole goal of this is that you don't come back. Based on where we're at, I will continue you in specialty court, but Mr. Gray, if you're dishonest again, it's going to be the end of the road for you. We'll continue specialty court and delayed sentence. When you're going to do a relapse prevention class, you're going to serve 14 days in jail, and then you're going to do 90 days on Scram Tether again, where we can monitor your alcohol consumption 24/7.
Okay. So 14 days in jail and then 90 days on Scram. I was mistaken when I said 16. But still, I'm glad he got jail time. I'm hoping it's the wake-up call that he needs. So the 14 days will keep the streets safe, but also the 90 with the Scram. Because if he violates on that, you already know this judge is done. He's going to go away for however long he's going to go away. He probably won't get the whole 5 years imposed, but he's going to get something. No, he was pregnant. He's pregnant. He's on his period. He's having a hot flash. He's got a sick relative to take care of. I'm definitely afraid of that too. I'm afraid of that with all of it, the addicts, that we see day in and day out. People aren't going to get better unless they want to. You can't force someone into treatment. And thinking that thinking that they're gonna change just because they say they want to, it's fool's logic. It really is. I mean, I dated a guy that swore up and down, if he could just get treatment for being an opioid addict, if he could just get treatment, then everything would be better. He wanted to be a father to his girls, and he hated the life that he was stuck in, and he made every excuse in the world, and I believed him. And I paid for 1 year of him to be in this Suboxone program, which was not cheap. He still was getting an opioid prescription and selling it, and then buying it back when he was going through withdrawals, because he abused the Suboxone and the Oxy. He ended up stealing my mom's medication. He stole my credit card and maxed it out. All for drugs. When he just wanted treatment. If anyone would help him, he could get off the stuff and have a new life. Be a good dad. I gave him every chance. He didn't have to pay any rent. He didn't buy any food. He paid no bills. His only job when I dated him, that he only had the last 4 months that we were dating. It took him forever to get a job. For 6 months, I just supported him and paid for his treatment and everything. And then he finally got a job on a paper route that he made 11 cents per paper. Yep. I paid for the gas. It was my car. I paid for the insurance. And when I asked him if he would chip in for gas, he says, "It ain't my car. I work for that money." Bye-bye. No, the real reason that I left him was because he was a jerkhole to my daughter. And she was a little kid. A little kid. And he treated her like trash. And I got fed up, and I'm like, no, we're done. You ain't gonna treat my kid like this. Doctor farming. He went to several different doctors. He had a pain contract with one, but that didn't stop him from going to the outpatient rehab treatment clinic. And then they were giving him Suboxone, and the two never communicated. They didn't have a database back then. For what? A phone call? Lunch? Oh, I guess it must be time to end the stream. My light went dim. This light does not have a very great lifespan. It lasts 2 hours. I mean, it's bright for about 2 hours, and then it goes dark. Then it doesn't give this is the output it's supposed to be. That. And that's great. But then after 2 hours, it starts losing life. Well, we've been on 3, so I need to give it a little more credit. Oh, okay, guys. Oh, golly, no. I picked terribly in relationship. I have terrible taste. Horrible taste. Yeah, I'm not good at picking men. That's why I just don't anymore. I'm PDMP. PDMP. Oh, you're talking about the prescription database thing. Yeah. Oh yeah. This was 20 years ago. Yeah. Oh, I don't have your kind of track record, Bill, but sure ain't good. I mean, mine were just basically all losers. I didn't get the psychos. Well, he was kind of crazy, but... Sorry, guys. Okay. I'm tired. I'm gonna go to bed now. I love you guys all so much. Thank you for coming and hanging out with us. I had fun tonight. I had fun. It was a good half trial. Oh, Frizzledick, I'd love to hear him. No, I don't have a list of names I'll never say again. You know, I tell you guys all the time, all things considered, I have a very blessed life. They can't say the same. So, I harbor no ill feelings. Hate only destroys the vessel in which it's harbored. I refuse to let them own a piece of me. I'll tell the story about them, you know. I'll talk about them. But that's all they get from me. They don't get to control my emotions. They don't get to make me feel bad. They're living in hell because they make really bad choices. And I only was there trying to help them. That was my mistake. But I can't save the world. And I'm no longer going to try. But what I can do is I can bring happiness to people. And that's what I'm going to continue doing. And for that, I get happiness in return. It's a great exchange. Be safe, be well, sleep sweet, and much love.